former OPP officer Jason Redmond spent nearly 8 years on paid suspension. After multiple convictions over the years, including drug trafficking and sexual assault, the constable was finally fired last summer. By then, he had already taken home more than $1.2 million in pay. Details of this Brockville case triggered public outrage. But it's just one of more than 450 cases of suspended officers CBC News found through publicly available data in Ontario. Officers were suspended with pay for a variety of allegations, everything from drunk driving to fraud, manslaughter, sexual assault, and intimate partner violence or disciplinary violations. The total cost, more than $134 million since 2013.
If you're wondering what it takes to get fired as a police officer, check out this story from Manitoba. Constable Stefan Shuchuk of the RCMP pulled over a vehicle to check if the driver was sober. He finds out who the passenger is, reaches out to her on Instagram, and sends her creepy messages that make her uncomfortable. She tells him that she's 17, probably to get him to go away, and he continues, instead calling her jailbait. Eventually she blocks him, a police complaint is made, and he actually keeps his job and gets 45 days of docked pay. You might think, well, maybe it's his first offense. No, he'd actually been found to have used excessive force in the past, so it's not his first round. The panel said, "I do believe members of the public understand that police officers are human and at times will make mistakes." Well, if those mistakes involve the abuse of the authority to creep on high school girls, maybe he shouldn't be a cop with a badge and a gun and the ability to demand people's ID.
Welcome to Body Cams Canada, where corruption is exposed and transparency is alive.
So I've been being stalked. I'm being stalked by a gray Sebring SUV.
Today we are in Oakville, Ontario. What you are watching is Halton Regional Police staging an assault on a cameraman, hoping to get a reaction that would meet the grounds for an arrest.
Why are you videotaping me?
Luckily, Jay from Ontario Audit has experienced corruption before and did not fall into this trap. Meet Constable Matthew Spina. As you are about to see, Matthew is just as bad at acting as he is being a police officer. Unknown to this officer, he was already spotted by Ontario Audit.
This guy's a cop, bro.
He approached the cameraman from almost a city block distance away and immediately assaulted Ontario Audit in the midst of taking his camera and placing it in his pocket. All of this happened while Matthew was on the phone with his partners while pretending to be a random civilian for the camera. Let's get into this.
Ontario Audit, later.
As Ontario Audit is about to leave, he noticed the undercover police van again, confirming he is being followed. At this point, he knew he had to keep the camera rolling, and that is exactly what he did.
I see you, bro. Yo, it's him again, man.
This guy's a cop, bro. This guy's a cop, followed me to McDonald's. So I tried to get back to my car. Stopped at a McDonald's because, you know, I thought I was being followed, right? I was being chased by a Sebring, sorry, a gray one. So I come outside and I got this guy here. Definitely a cop. They're so bad at being undercover. I've been being stalked. I'm being stalked by a gray Sebring SUV, and I go into the McDonald's to use the bathroom.
We are about to witness some of the worst acting known to mankind. We have no evidence to confirm whether this failed attempt was put together solely by Matthew, or alternatively, a minimum of 2 police officers conspired to commit a crime in order to identify somebody who is filming a police station, or to provoke a reaction that will lead to criminal charges against Ontario Audit.
Why are you videotaping me? I'm picking up my daughter. What's your problem, man? are you videotaping me while I'm in my car?
Keep in mind, we still do not know who he is speaking to. Although he is leading us to believe he is speaking to dispatch, I wouldn't rule out the undercover officer in the minivan being the person on the other end of the line. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. You can videotape me all you like. But I'm at the McDonald's picking up my daughter from work, so why are you videotaping me? Hey, why are you videotaping me?
Hey, don't touch my shit, buddy.
Don't videotape
You
me.
can't do that, man. Don't break my stuff.
I'm not breaking anything.
Give me my phone back, man.
No. Don't videotape me. I'm in
Okay.
front of... Yeah, I'll wait for the police. Don't worry.
Yeah, we will, and you'll be charged with assault, brother.
Yeah, okay. By all
You
means.
will.
Okay.
Yeah, so 911 on the phone, he just confiscated my phone.
Here you go. You can have it back.
He confiscated my phone and
Why are
physically touched me. Have it all on body camera.
By all means.
Have it all on body camera, brother. You can't touch somebody else.
You can't videotape me. You can't just
Yes, I
walk up to
can.
somebody.
Yes, I can.
By all means. Do
Yes,
your
I
thing.
can. Get the cops come, brother.
Yeah, don't
You
worry.
just yourself. Think you're
By
a
all
big
means.
tough guy? Think you're a big tough guy, huh?
Dude, this is all recorded too. Why
Good.
are you walking up to me videotaping me?
Could a big tough guy gave my phone back now because he's scared of getting charged. He knows he did the wrong thing. On the phone with the cops. That's the entitlement with these people, man. This guy walks over to me as he's saying, I'm on the phone with the cops. Why are you following me? As he's coming up to me.
Why are you videotaping?
And now he wants to grab my phone away from me.
Why are you videotaping?
And grab and touch my hand. Physically assault me.
Don't worry, the police are on their way. We'll figure it out.
Officer Matthew Spina just said the police are on their way, but what he didn't mention is the police have already arrived. Not only is Matthew himself an on-duty law enforcement officer, but the minifan is also parked at the end of the street conveniently. What do you think the chances are the van just happened to be parked at the end of the street while all of this unfolded?
Tell him you assaulted me, buddy. Make sure you tell him that. Don't make a false police report, because you know what? I'm going to stick with you. You make a false police report, that's another charge. That's another charge, buddy.
We'll wait for you here. Don't worry.
Sure. There's one right there, man. Undercover right there. He's been following me this whole time.
You want to go talk to him then?
Go ahead, sure.
All right.
He's been following me.
Go ahead. Go talk to him then.
Sure.
Just curious why you're following me.
No one was following you.
You sat there. Look at your video. You have it all.
Did I videotape you? Yeah. Was I in a public area? Yeah.
You're also videotaping children going into McDonald's.
Did I do
That's
that?
concerning to me.
Did I do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know
well,
what
we'll wind it back and see how many children
you have
walked
the
inside.
evidence. You
Yeah.
have the evidence. Don't worry.
All right. Yeah. I do have the evidence of you assaulting me, sir.
By all means.
You can't fool me, bro. I know you're out here following me, brother. I'm not dumb. Waste the taxpayers' money, brother. I'm no threat to you guys at all.
Ontario Audit had already suspected that Matthew was a police officer, so he made a call to the police station to confirm. This is how it went.
Okay, so the officer's name is Matthew is the first name.
Yep.
Spina is the last name.
Can you spell that, please?
S-P-I-N-A.
Matthew Spina. And his badge number?
09623.
And he's the individual who assaulted me in the black truck, correct?
Well, I don't know what he was driving. That's the name that I have here in the report.
Okay, so there's three officers. Sorry, I just really want to confirm. So there was three officers on scene, correct? There's Constable Dupuis,
Yeah.
Sergeant Jared McMillan,
Yeah.
and then the other cop who assaulted me, who was named Constable. Is it Constable Spina?
Yeah.
Not detective, not sergeant.
Nope. Police constable.
We are not even close to the end of the story. The corruption has just begun, but it is also about to be exposed for all of you to witness.
Sorry,
Jared McMillan.
is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hey Jared, this is James Hearn, Hearn. My birthday. I was the individual from the other day in regards to incident number 24-19410Z. I refused to give you my name at the time, but I'm giving you my name and information now. I've emailed you the incident of the assault and the man who took my phone from me and assaulted me, and I showed you the video. I've sent all that to you. I'm hoping you do the right thing here and press charges against this man. My phone number is 289, or you can email me back at ontarioaudit@hotmail.com, which I've already emailed you. So all you need to do is reply to that and let me know what's going on, brother. Hope you do the right thing here, or I'm just gonna have to take it to the courts and do it myself, man. The people are watching. Do the right thing, McMillan. You witnessed the assault. I did nothing wrong. Where do we live, man? Where do we live? We live in Canada. Don't let this guy go around assaulting people. I don't care if he's a police undercover. It doesn't matter. Do the right thing, Jared.
Sorry,
Jared McMillan.
is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hey, Sergeant Jared McMillan, it's James Hearn again. I was just following up on that time I got assaulted the other day by one of your undercover officers. Well, I'm pretty sure he's one of your undercover officers. I'll find out soon enough. I was wondering what's going on with that. Are you gonna email me back? Are you gonna let me know if you're gonna file charges or what's going on? I'm giving you the opportunity to do the right thing here, man. I've been assaulted. You witnessed it. I sent you the video evidence that you requested me to send. I gave you my name. I gave you my information. I would like charges to be pressed on that deranged individual who put his hands on me and stole my equipment and put it in his pocket. A violation of the law, which you uphold, Sergeant McMillan. Please do the right thing. I look forward to speaking with you. This is not the last time I'll be calling. Have a nice day. How's it going, sir?
Good. I just wanted to introduce myself and let you know I've been assigned to investigate your interaction with the Halton officer from a little while ago.
Yep.
So if you need it, since you're recording, I'll just say it. My phone number is 905-693. And my email is mark.murray@haltonpolice.ca.
Thanks, Mark.
And my badge number is 8470.
I just have one more question.
Yeah, of course.
So during this whole time, is Detective Matthew Spina been employed still? I mean, obviously he's been employed. Has he been suspended with pay? Has he been on the streets?
I honestly don't know for sure, but my belief is that no, he's not suspended.
Oh, that's great. That's great news. All right, Mark. I'll talk to you soon.
James, you there?
Yeah, what's going on?
Not too much, man. You got a minute?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give you the update. I haven't finished my report yet, but I did meet with the Crown on whatever day it was last week. And I showed him the video and I showed him your statement and everything. We went over it several times. At the end of the day, the Crown said that there was reasonable and probable grounds to lay a criminal charge of mischief against Constable Spina if I deemed it necessary to go through criminal court. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm sure you're not going to be thrilled about this, but after doing a full investigation, I do not feel that it warrants a criminal charge.
Let's have a look at the Criminal Code of Canada together. Criminal harassment 264(1). No person shall, without lawful authority and knowing that another person is harassed, or recklessly as to whether the other person is harassed, engage in conduct referred to in subsection 2 that causes that other person reasonably, in all the circumstances, to fear for their safety or the safety of anyone known to them. A, B, or C would be irrelevant to this incident, but D is what we will be looking at today. Engaging in threatening conduct directed at the other person or any member of their family. Marginal note, punishment 3. Every person who contravenes this section is guilty of an indictable offense and is liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 10 years.
So I will not be laying a criminal charge. It will go down to the Police Service Act level for further investigation.
All right.
Do you have any questions?
Nah, man. You investigated your own and you found no wrongdoing, even though...
No, I didn't. I did not say that. I did not say that. What I said is I don't believe the actions warrant a criminal charge.
Now let's have a look at the crime of mischief. 431. Everyone commits mischief who willfully A. destroys or damages property, B. renders property dangerous, useless, inoperative, or ineffective, C. obstructs, interrupts, or interferes with the lawful use, enjoyment, or operation of property, or D. obstructs, interrupts, or interferes with any person in the lawful use, enjoyment, or operation of property.
He will be further investigated at the Police Service Act level, because that's what the Police Service Act is there for when officers do misconduct while on duty. I did not say he didn't do anything wrong. I feel that there are some things there that need to be dealt with, but I don't feel that going through criminal court is appropriate for what happened.
And why is that?
Because I don't believe there was any criminal intent in anything he did. I do believe that some of his actions require some sort of review internally, but I don't believe there was any criminal intent on anything he did.
So him physically putting his hands on me, taking my property, putting it into his pocket.
I slowed the video down about 20 times and watched every screenshot I could, and I never see him make contact with you. He makes contact with the phone, and he pulls the phone out of your hand, but I never see him make contact with you.
The phone is an extension of my body, sir.
Well, I mean, that's your opinion. I mean, obviously the offense of assault would be direct or indirect, so by taking the phone, he is causing some sort of contact, indirect contact with your body. But again, there's two elements to every offense. There's the actus reus and the mens reus. The actus reus is the guilty act, and the mens reus is the guilty mind. And I don't believe that he had a criminal intent in anything that he did. Again, I do believe it needs further review, and I do believe that there will be some sort of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I do feel that it will be handled at a different level, but I don't think it's in the best interest of the public or anybody to have what happened between the two of you go through the criminal court.
All right, let me ask you one more question.
Yep.
If Constable Spina was recording me on a public sidewalk and I went up to him and I grabbed his phone, would I be under arrest?
Well, what I'll tell you is that what we believe is that if this was two civilians, nobody would have been arrested.
Wow, why'd you touch me like that? Don't touch me like that. Do you think you're above the law and you can just touch me? What's your name, officer? Constable, what's your name and badge number? You want to put your hands on me and assault me? You think you're above the law? What's your name and badge number, sir?
I don't gotta tell you nothing.
No, you have it on your you have it on your vest. Not displaying.
It's not.
The Canadian Police Services Act says you should have it displayed. So you're not gonna give me your name?
It's not part of my uniform.
So you just assaulted me and now you're not gonna give me your name. You don't want to be held accountable, huh?
Push your camera out of my face.
Thank you for saying that on record. You know that that's a summary offense? Did you know that that's a summary offense, officer? Did you know that you just admitted to a summary offense on camera? How do you feel? You're a real clown, eh? How many people's rights you violate every day, man?
None.
Pull people over and tell them you smell weed in the car? You're pathetic, buddy. You could have just came and said hi to me.
And why are you following me?
Because you just assaulted me, bud.
You've been following
What's your
me
name and
since
badge
lunch.
number?
You've been following me since lunch.
I wasn't following you over there. And even if I was,
Yeah,
what
you
does it
were.
matter?
Buddy, I don't care.
Am I breaking the law?
You can talk with me. You can try to get under my skin.
I just want your
But it
name and
ain't
badge
gonna
number.
work.
I just want your name and badge
It
number.
ain't gonna work.
So you assault me. What if I touch your camera? What would you do?
I didn't assault you.
What would you do if I touched that taser right there?
Find out.
See, but you can't find out when you touch me because you're above the law. You don't even have to identify yourself.
Not the case, dude.
That clearly is the case.
You're just trying to start something.
Sir, I would have said hi to you all that, but you came and you said,
you can say hi to me
dude,
now.
you went like that. I was like, oh, wicked, this guy's awesome. And then you came and went, boom, hit my hand and my
In your
camera.
mind, you're like, yeah, wicked, I got this guy's attention, which is what I've been trying to do.
Brother, you clearly have no idea what I do out here. I
Well, what do you
exercise
do?
my rights peacefully.
What
I
do you
hold
do?
government officials accountable. I do not.
How do you do that? How do you hold government officials accountable? What is it that you're
Maybe
doing
you
out
should
here
look
that
into
doesn't?
me. Maybe you should look into me.
I don't really want to because I don't care.
I've got multiple complaints
I
on
got
officers in
myself. I
Durham.
got myself to worry about. I don't need to worry about you.
Clearly, you need people like me to hold you accountable because you think you can just go around touching anybody's equipment, touching anybody's.
Did you see that happen? You got up in my face with your camera. So what kind of reaction do you think
I got in
you're
your
gonna get
face.
from
It's all
people
on
with
film,
that?
brother. That's why I film. That's why I do what I do. You
To
want to tell me that
agitate.
I walked up on you?
To agitate is exactly what you
I've got you
filmed for.
on film multiple times lying now and admitting to a summary offense.
Just because you narrate something doesn't mean that that's what happened.
It's on
you can
film,
say
brother.
whatever you want on your camera, dude.
It's on
You know
film.
why? The only people that are going to watch that are your friends, if you even have any.
Okay.
You think that's going to get you views?
All right. Yeah, I'm a nobody, man. I just uploaded nobody.
You might. Maybe you have people that follow you. That
Oh,
enjoy
maybe I do
watching
now.
this stuff. Maybe you don't.
Look, Constable, do you
It
want to
doesn't
start on a
matter.
fresh foot? Do you want to start on a brand new page?
Sure.
I'll give you
Sure.
an opportunity.
Sure.
What's
Keep
your,
walking
what's
with
your
me
name and
'cause I
badge
gotta
number?
go.
Sir, sure.
Keep
What's your name and
walking
badge
'cause I
number,
gotta
sir?
go. You're not getting it.
Okay, well, then we can't start on a fresh.
I'm not obligated to tell you. I don't care what your name is either. My name shouldn't matter. It shouldn't be relevant.
It does matter because you just assaulted me,
I
sir.
didn't insult you.
You grabbed my camera. You touched my camera. You already admitted it. There's no reason to lie now.
Okay. So touching somebody's property is an assault now?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's
And
a
I'm
summary
not gonna,
offense.
I'm not going to dispute with you.
You didn't just touch my camera as well. You touched my hand too. You physically put contact to me,
Dude.
sir.
Dude, you're trying to get a fresh
Dude,
start.
what?
That's the one you want.
You're just talking circles.
I'm trying to get your name and badge number because I want to hold you accountable because you just assaulted me.
You still
and you
can.
clearly think
I'm
that
not
you're
hard to
above the
find.
law.
You still can. I'm not hard to find.
Well, how do I
Good
find
luck.
you then?
Well, you've been following me around all day.
How am I supposed to get your name?
You can figure it out.
Your Peel
You gotta-
Regional Police refusing to identify to a member of the public
I'm
who
not
you just
obligated
assaulted.
I'm not obligated to identify myself to you.
But also, behind all of this is that you cannot interfere with or obstruct the lawful actions of a peace officer. So if a police officer is carrying out their lawful duty, and it has to be a lawful duty, and you interfere with that or you obstruct that, you could be charged with and guilty of obstruction. But in most cases, somebody standing on the sidelines with a camera phone, not in the way, it would not be obstructing, and they would have a lawful right to record a police officer doing whatever they're doing in public. And frankly, they can also record images of the person that they're interacting with or arresting, and crowds and anybody else in that public place. So what are some additional principles at play? Well, we also have in the background the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And that is it's part of the Constitution of Canada. It's the absolute law of Canada. So any law or any official government action that is inconsistent with the Charter is null and void, of no force and effect. And within the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, we have Section 2B, which guarantees the right of freedom of expression. Now, freedom of expression also includes the right to collect information. You know, frankly, it would be a pretty hollow right if all you could do was say things, but you weren't able to do the things that are antecedent to that, to collecting information. And that's been held for reporters, but that same right applies to everybody, every person who is resident in Canada.
I have had many clients over the years say to me, Mike, look, the police lied to me. I was in the confession room and they were making up evidence against me and saying there was this witness and that witness, or pointing to empty boxes, which turned out to be empty boxes of materials, in an attempt to get me talking and giving a confession. And I felt so much pressure as a result of their lies, which I thought was the truth, that I eventually gave a confession.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health education videos. In this video, I'm going to talk about emotional support animals. I'm going to answer the questions: what are they and what do they do? What rights do you have with them? And what's the difference between an emotional support animal, a psychiatric service animal, and a therapy animal? An emotional support animal is an animal whose presence is required for your mental well-being. Required is the operative word here. They bring comfort and they minimize the negative symptoms of your psychiatric disability. Your need for this animal is documented by a mental health professional. Anyone can derive benefit from interacting with an animal, but there are certain protections and accommodations allowed by law if you have an emotional support animal.
Have you ever wondered who polices the police? This question sounds paradoxical, but the answer to it is crucial for upholding the rule of law. In Canada, the police are the main institution responsible for law enforcement. But police officers can break the law too. When a police officer breaks the law, it is important that the police special powers over law enforcement aren't misused in a way that allows the officer to escape a proper investigation. The civilian oversight of police is crucial for holding police accountable when police break the law, or other words, engage in wrongdoing. Few behaviors are as corrosive to our social fabric or as foundational to our societal divisions. Lies severely hobble our ability to communicate effectively, our capacity to understand reality, and our attempts at securing social and moral progress. As a result, it's understandable to conclude that using government power to prohibit and eliminate lies is justified. On May 13, 2024, there was a multitude of lies based on stereotypes, bias, and I do believe racism as well, and there was a great intent for deception. Lies are conscious attempts to deceive. Perjury is covered, I believe, but I will verify that later. I believe that's part 6 of offenses against the administration of law and justices. There's a section of the criminal code dealing with the misleading justice, and it is a crime to lie to the court or the police under oath or solemn affirmation. It can be treated as an indictable offense. If you have been charged with perjury, the Crown will proceed as an indictable offense, and you will likely be imprisoned if convicted. And I mean, these should apply not only just to civilians, but to police as well. I believe that the police actually feel that they are above that. In order to help me prove this, I will use media as well as facts. Hopefully, common sense will rule. When I filled out the human rights, I still had not received my freedom of information from the Halton police. I only had the hospital report, which was not given by the hospital, but I had the video from the shelter, where the shelter was misled to believe that I was incarcerated, which, as you know, is very different than if they used the word detain. Because of that, the first day I was actually not able to get my emotional support dog, which I needed, because of them using the word detained, and I needed my emotional support dog, and I wasn't able to get that. Instead, I was told to fill out at the shelter a lost and stolen report, even though it was just a couple of hours. And later on, when I did pick them up, I found out, they were told, and it makes sense, they were told that my dogs, I was, incarcerated, when neither of the fact was Wayne or myself incarcerated. So no excuses there. I will show how they deliberately attempt to deceive to justify their actions. I have several emails questioning also what the doctor said on the medical report. This doctor saw me for about 10 minutes, and he's written many untruths, one including claiming that I had borderline personality disorder, which I don't. I questioned and asked him what medical professional has ever stated that. He cannot answer, so he chooses to ignore me. As well as it's written that I am denying that I have ethanol and drug abuse. I want to know who in the world claimed, because I don't, use alcohol, don't even like alcohol, and I don't use drugs because I don't like drugs, and I don't, there was also claiming that I was suicidal and homicidal, which is, I realize now, is what the police told them, because they had to come up with a good scenario in order to detain me. Without coming up with that scenario, they wouldn't have been able to detain me rightfully, so they had to perjure themselves for this. Unlike the Halton Regional Police, I'm going to be transparent. I now know and understand why people say you have the right to remain silent and you should use it. Because realizing that the Halton police construe words to suit their narrative, and they're also not beyond forging evidence. I have experienced, the reason we're here is because I have attempted to even contact Leca several times, many times, even at that day, the Halton Regional Police, to ask what's going on, because it was very confusing to me what was going on. And you know what I realized? Even my email to Sergeant Griffin pointing out that I have digital proof, along as with their photos that shows the time that they updated, and as long as, other lies, I could prove that, especially Sergeant Ferrono and Underwood, they not only did they lie and perjure themselves in a disclosure, but they also faked evidence. And when I attempted to call, I was mocked at. And I realized that they do put in blockades. Sergeant Griffin, I sent him an email and never got a reply. I'm positively sure by, how I've been mocked at, that this is how they block people and protect themselves. And it's really sad that the people that are supposed to be trusted to uphold justice are doing the very opposite, and their egos go ahead of everything. Plus, they do know that they have lawyers which are paid for by the people they really don't seem to really like, the citizens. I experienced the infringement of my rights during both events, accompanied by the defamation of my character through falsehoods that persisted into the second event. Their actions were marked by malice and contempt throughout both occurrences. Such behavior is harmful to both the public and the principles of justice. I will substantiate my claims by integrating verified facts, media, timing, and statements made, and other supporting documents. My race has led to stereotypes portraying me as uneducated, which has resulted in a lack of concern from them. That I am perfectly capable of defending myself. My professional experience in managing escalations and conducting investigations has equipped me with valuable skills, even though not deemed at the same level of a paralegal. They have inadvertently placed themselves at a disadvantage through their own assumptions. The practice of token diversity hiring is a misleading tactic employed by many organizations, and based on my personal experiences, it does not effectively combat racism and stereotypes. Furthermore, I consistently examine perspectives from both sides of my family, which is multi-generational. I possess a racially ambiguous identity, which 60% of my DNA is of Asian descent, and I come from a well-educated lineage from both sides, which I highly doubt they would have ever have guessed.
happened? Oh yeah, you and your fucking ridiculous. You said you could rape little children. Just take it. Just take it. Lose my number. Lose my number. Lose my pictures. Lose everything, please. Just lose it all. Go back to your children. Go back to your fucking dope. Go where children are safe. Give me the money, old man. Good. Thank God, because you tried to choke me. Why did you try to admit that you tried to choke me? Why did you say how you tried to choke me? Because you said you're in the military in the UK. You tried to choke me, and I'm trying to look for the keys.
Okay, ma'am, can you either get out of the car?
I'm not going to get out the car. I just want
I don't want your dog out.
and he wants to drive around with my license plate, and he's not allowed to drive around with either one of my license plates.
Okay.
Do you want to just put your comb on top of the car for me?
I just want him to get out of my life.
Just put the comb and the keys on top of the car.
And he's the one who rapes little girls. Why don't you actually look
wait here, just wait here, just wait here.
Why don't you actually look at his phone?
What's your name?
It's Simone Thursday. Why don't you actually look how he rapes little girls and shows big pictures of them? And
What's going on?
he tried to choke me. He wanted the keys, and I was going to get him the keys to find whatever. But he can't drive both cars. He's not licensed to drive. He's not even insured to let both of my cars. And I tried to tell him that. And he wants both of my cars to drive.
How do you know him?
Because we've been together for so long.
Okay.
But then he's been writing little girls and sending little girls thick pictures and 16-year-olds. He has 16-year-olds where he sends 16-year-olds nasty things. I just told him I want him to leave me alone.
Is this your dog?
That's the big one is his dog, the little one's my dog.
Okay.
No, you just don't want it when it's saying, then I'm going to take him to the Humane Society if that's what you're saying. You're not even supposed to be in Canada. You've outlived it. You made me pay for you twice to go to Cuba, and then you never even applied for permanent residence. You're just using me.
So where are you currently staying?
Right here, because we're right now in Saskatchewan. We came to pick this up.
So you're from Saskatchewan?
I live both places halfway.
What's your name, ma'am?
It's Simone Toonsey.
And your birth date?
July 5th, 1971. And you got, I have his birth certificate. I have his thing in there. I have somewhere in there. Here's my phone. Here's my phone. Somewhere in this bag is his thing. I told him just delete my number. And then he could go and write little girls his little messages. He thinks it's okay to write little girls sexual messages that are 16 years old about his dick. I just don't want to be with a guy who writes 6-year-old messages to little girls about his dick. Yes, I did. I did see those messages. And he thinks, well, in England you could rape a 60-year-old girl. I go, into Canada you can't. And I can't find a wallet.
Ben.
Ben?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name?
Sam.
Smells of marijuana.
Everything smells the same.
It's just skunk.
No, that's marijuana.
Ben, if you want to start on this RTO. Call up.
Sorry, I'm from UK. I'm not used to smelling marijuana everywhere.
Sure, that'd be great. Thank you. Hi, how can I help you?
We're here to pick up our 2 dogs.
Okay. Do you have your ID with you?
Yes, I have my ID.
Excellent.
Oh, she couldn't, no, she couldn't make it. She actually, oh, she's fine. She has an appointment. So she did.
Okay, which one would you like?
I need photo
Passport?
ID and just something that has your address. So passport's fine, it's a piece.
If you just take off that out there. That's
there.
there.
Is the bedding unopened or is it open?
I need a new
I
wallet.
can come out and look at it.
Yeah, we'll go and get you a new wallet
Yeah,
after
'cause
this.
Everything is
Saying
hard
this all
to
week.
find. Everything's hard to
Brand
find
new
in
one.
here.
Has to be from the dollar store.
Well, everything's hard to find in here. That's not it. That's ownerships. That's also ownerships.
It's funny, I can't hear him barking. Is there lots of kennels or something?
Yeah, they're all just down there.
They're all just down
yeah.
there.
We don't open duty until 12 though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can normally hear him from miles away. One of them anyway.
Okay, did someone not give me back?
Just back and forth a minute.
What's up?
Did someone not give me back my driver's license? Let me. I have a feeling somebody.
Their full name, just because we want to avoid duplicating people in Shelter Buddy. So things like date of birth or middle name would differentiate one person from another person. And so we know it's a different record, not the same person.
I mean, we were here on the first day to pick them up, but you couldn't find them.
This is crazy trying to push things in here.
Stick them in your backpack. I know.
Yeah, but I still need a new wallet.
I know, well, we're going to get you a new wallet. It's got my passport in as well, so.
He has your passport, you need a new wallet.
New wallet. The next mission is wallet.
Yeah. Yes, everything, all the.
There's that back
Great,
for you.
thank you.
No problem.
This is from Electron Auto.
Yeah, we'll burn it.
No, we'll still use it for our truck keys.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll use the ring. Right. Yeah, we'll use it.
Yeah,
But it sounds like Electron Ultra.
well, no, because they ripped us off.
We'll write slander on the
No problem.
I'm here till anyway, even if you're just passing papers.
Oh, okay.
Do we know how old Ozzy is? 10 months, you said?
Yeah, he's 10 months.
And with Rocky, how long have you had him for? Like, do we
Okay.
think he's? I think because he's older. Like he was microchipped in.
He's older, but
2016.
nobody knows
exactly
how old he is.
Yeah. Some would put him around 8, but I think he's much older than 8.
Yeah,
He
because
seems like
his teeth, when I got him,
I reckon
right?
he's about 10.
The
at least.
owner wasn't taking care of his
But he's
teeth,
gonna live
so
forever.
it's really
Yeah, Yorkies
bad.
sometimes have really
Yeah,
bad.
so they couldn't figure
Yeah,
it out.
I had 2 Yorkies and one of them had no teeth. So she could attack everyone without doing them any harm. And Rocky often attacks Ozzy, and Ozzy doesn't even notice.
I don't know.
is 416-417-9222?
Mhm.
Okay.
There's two numbers we have.
Okay. What's the second number?
You could give this.
They put AGH and
If you want to just use a
AGUE
pen
and
here and just sign that you're getting your dogs back today.
Okay,
So it's 116 for each dog.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to Runkle of the Bailey. My name is Ian Runkle. I'm a Canadian criminal defense and firearms lawyer. So it's been a while since we had a Scotch video, but today we're going to have a Scotch video and discuss a case that was reported in the Burnaby Now. I'm going to link the article in the description below. You should check it out. But the headline is Burnaby cop accused of misconduct spent more than half his RCMP career on paid leave. And so the story here is that the guy in the picture, let's just zoom in on that. That's Alessandro Sponza, a former RCMP member who was accused of offenses under, RCMP discipline, including actions likely to discredit the force. Now, we don't know what those actions actually were because Mr. Sponza resigned before these could be heard. He's like, nope, peace out, I'm done. And the problem is that once he resigns, that actually ends the jurisdiction of the disciplinary boards to hear the case, to have any of this come out in the public. So we don't actually know. But he had a 5-year career with the RCMP, and more than 2.5 of those years was spent on suspension. So essentially, for more than half of his career, he was on paid suspension, getting paid for doing nothing. And you might say, okay, well, stuff happens, cases fall through the cracks, there's those unique circumstances that just, where something doesn't work out right. And here's the problem. This is not a unique circumstance. This is not a failure of the system in his specific case, because this is actually how the system is built, and we need to fix it. There are dozens and dozens of cases where police officers who've been accused of serious misconduct, including things like theft from members of the public, including things like weapons mishandling, including intentional mishandling of weapons in ways that could endanger other police officers or other members of the public. We're talking about sexual offenses against other police officers or members of the public. We're talking serious stuff here. And in some cases, they've been able to stretch these proceedings out and stretch out the time that they are suspended with pay for 8 years, 10 years. At more than $100,000 a year in some cases, we're talking about almost $1 million that officers have been paid, and I've previously reported on some of those cases where officers have been paid almost or over $1 million for screwing up. And this can't be the way we want our system to work. This can't be how things should go. This is fundamentally unfair and wrong. Now, I say that as like a taxpayer and as a person who has a job where, quite frankly, if I did something, anything like any of, if I was alleged, like if I was charged with a criminal offense, any criminal offense, I would be probably suspended very quickly and unable to work. I'd be suspended and no pay, no money, no anything. So when we've got these officers committing very serious criminal offenses and they are, they're able to sort of skate on this, this is a very unique thing for their particular job, and it's written into legislation. It's not like they can just ignore this in a lot of cases. So we need to get that changed. It is bizarre. But you know who's really got to be offended? Not me as, the taxpayer who's like, we paid $1 million to some corrupt cop. It's really got to be the good cops. That's who's really got to be pissed off about this. Can you imagine how much of a sucker you must feel if you're going to work dealing with, You know, people who spit at you, people who swear at you, people who mistreat you because, you know, people don't like cops, and fair enough. But it's often a crappy job, right? Most people aren't getting, you know, most people can't expect to have somebody take a swing at them every month at their job. So, yeah, but there are officers out there who are good cops. And good cops, I've always said, deserve to work with other good cops. But can you imagine how much of a sucker you've got to feel? You're going to work, you're just, you know, you're being ethical, you're being honorable, you're being honest, diligent, restrained, all of these things we expect from police officers. And then some jerk who is stealing from dead people or, you know, whatever else gets basically a years-long paid vacation. And in some cases, officers have managed to work a second job while they're on paid suspension. And you got to figure, if you can somehow manage to get paid suspension as a police officer and a second job in the meantime, you'd be pulling two salaries. You pull that off for 10 years, you're retired. You know, this is like a lottery win. Why are we making being a bad cop like a lottery win? It's insane. So what do we do about this? Well, a lot of this has to be changed through legislation, and I have some specific suggestions here. One, the presumption should be for unpaid suspension. And in order to overcome that presumption, they should have to show that they have a substantial, more than 50%, a substantial chance of beating the charges, or that the charges are not of such a nature and severity that they warrant a lack of pay, right? So if an officer is committed or been alleged to have committed something minor, like a paperwork screw up or something like that, maybe we don't cut off their pay in the meantime. But in most cases, if you have to suspend the officer and you have to pull them off the streets, really that should say maybe this is serious enough to not pay them. The same way you'd be not paid in most other jobs. In fact, in most other jobs, you'd just be summarily fired, but okay. The next thing is to end the ability of officers to resign in the face of discipline. As a lawyer, if I am subject to discipline and I say, like the Law Society says, hey, Runkle, we're going to punish you if we find that you committed this offense. And if I resign, that's actually treated as a disbarment. Resigning in the face of discipline is equivalent to being disbarred. So we should similarly treat resigning as either something that doesn't end their jurisdiction to proceed with the disciplinary action, or treat resigning as something that is basically an admission of the offense and requires you to repay any of that paid suspension time. Oh, you dragged out the proceedings for 8 years and then you resigned just before we could come to a verdict. Yeah, we want our $800,000 back, please. That might be a good system. And the other thing is, quite frankly, these boards are often a problem themselves. We need to really reshape these boards, get more civilian interest in them, less police authority over police, because the whole thing of police investigating police is not really something that lends to a lot of confidence in the system. Frankly, what we're seeing a lot of is cases where, in my opinion, the officer should never be a police officer again, and where these disciplinary boards are like, it's not such a big deal. That includes offenses of dishonesty, including the cheating scandal out of, I think it was Toronto, where a police officer was helping other officers cheat on promotion exams. We've seen instances where officers have committed sexual offenses, and they go, no, you can keep working. You can keep being a police officer. Which to me is insane. That to me is the absolute, that should be the obvious case where a police officer should not be a police officer, is if you can't trust them Like, for example, alone with an unconscious woman. Because the unconscious woman who might have a police call made about her really deserves to feel that the officer who's responding is going to be somebody who is safe and is not potentially somebody who might be the danger in this circumstance. As noted, there was a case recently. An officer was convicted, thankfully, and sent to jail for stealing from the dead. More of that, please, because the other thing that is a real problem is situations where officers are accused of things that could very well be preceded as criminal charges, including those sexual offenses, but instead are launched as police disciplinary actions only, which means that anyone else would get a criminal record and possibly jail time, firearm bans, all of these things. But the police officers are entitled to continue doing this. Now, I'm going to just say, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. There are officers out there who I have tremendous respect for. We need good cops deserve to work with other good cops. And so we need to stop making bad cop the best job in society, short of like corrupt politician. Bad cop right now is a job that we can see results in like 2.5 years of getting money for doing nothing. Why? Why are we rewarding this? Why is this the... You know, I would love a job that pays me like $100,000 a year to do absolutely nothing. It's insane, and this is detrimental to our society because how do we keep good cops in this circumstance?
Okay, well, there's so much to talk about in this case. You see, the Halton Police Force on May 13th, 2024, I learned how corrupt the Halton police are. They're not afraid to perjure themselves, lie, assault. And even when it's on video, they really feel that their badge hides them. Technically, it's probably because I have tried to contact Leca about it. They refused to investigate, saying, you know, both cases were the same, but, you know, with me in it. And I'll get into what they did to me later on, but I'm going to take this by parts. It's a lot easier because the amount of lies that they piled up, it is overwhelming. But, as you know, the Halton police do not wear body cams. And probably because of that, they also feel that they have more flexibility to lie. They have no conscience about lying, I'll tell you that. So, let's take this case. Now, Wayne was held. Was it 1:15? They held him for public intoxication. It's not a crime. It's a fine. But they really, it seems, wanted to get a crime on him. And they have stooped very low, not only in perjury, forging of evidence. And then Wayne got assaulted twice by Sergeant Ferrona, which I have affectionately nicknamed him Bully Boy. Can't help it. Because then he When Wayne was at the police station, he made up an excuse again to assault him while all the, his colleagues watched. If anybody can remember, 4 years ago, some of his colleagues were caught videoing a police officer beating up a young guy while the rest of them just looked around or turned away and pretended that they didn't see anything. When I've tried to report it, like I said to Leca, I tried calling into the same police station, got mocked at. Every time I called in to tell them this is crazy, this is what's happening, they laughed at me, mocked at me. I was getting really frustrated. I even sent, because when I called in, someone told me the sergeant during that day, the day shift, was Sergeant Griffin in charge. I sent him an email giving him details about it. He never got back to me at all. Surprise, not. I then tried just to, because they were purposely ignoring me. Leca was ignoring me. The Crown was given this information. They ignored it, which is really shocking. But yes. It gets really frustrating when this happens and you realize that those that are supposed to protect and serve are actually very corrupt themselves. So there's going to be a series of different parts because there's just too much, lies and manipulation to put it all in just 1 or 2 videos. I'm going to show you, this was caught on Underwood's dash cam. I'm not sure if Sergeant Ferrono, aka Bully Boy, realizes that on a dash cam, you can't fool people with video evidence and photographs, but they have attempted, and very blatantly. But let's see here. I'm just pulling it up. Sorry, I don't have my video camera set up as yet, so I'm just going to pull this up. 1 second here. I really need to get my video camera set up. I need some things here. Okay, where do I have it? Desktop. Okay, let's see what Sergeant Bully Boy wrote here. This is Sergeant Bully Boy's disclosure, and Underwood goes along with it, okay? Now, remember, when they let Wayne out, they let him out while he was still intoxicated, never told himself or me that he was still intoxicated. In fact, I still believe up to this day, they actually set it up because they also gave us the wrong directions, telling us that my dogs would have been at the Oakville Town Hall. Instead, they took my dogs, to the shelter, with not knowing where Oakville is or anything about it. Meaning not knowing, what did I say? Not knowing where, I know where Oakville is. My cousin lives in Oakville. Not knowing where many things are in Oakville, and it was a very long night. Here you get information saying this is where your dog is at. We went to it. Then after finding out our dog wasn't there, we proceeded. I asked Wayne to drive for me because I was so tired. I never slept. So I asked him to drive for me. If they had told me they were letting him out intoxicated, or told himself, he would have never driven, and I would have never let him driven. Reading the disclosure, I believe it was Ferrona who said he was just going into work, and he started work early to do this. It seems to me that they let Wayne out at a specific time, didn't give him a sobriety test when they held him, and let him out to purposely set him out because they couldn't find him having a criminal record. So what do you do when they don't like you? They make up They create, you know, a scenario where they can entrap you. Anyways, here it goes. Remember, one thing is Verono just had slammed into my truck, a truck that I actually came from Saskatchewan to Ontario to pick up. He slammed into my truck. We were right in front of the Halton Milton animal shelter. It has a sort of like a hidden entrance, so the GPS led us there. Be honest, we couldn't even see where the shelter was because it has a very long hidden driveway, and we stopped. Wayne had his signals on. Verono came really fast and slammed into my truck, which actually was a friggin' shock. The slam into the truck alone, even, well, it startled me because it was a good hit. Now, let's hear what Verono says. He says, I then exited my vehicle and approached the suspect's vehicle. I observed the driver hunched over the driver's seat. Well, he wasn't hunched over any time the driver's seat, but who knows? Maybe because of your hard slamming my truck, it hit him in. But, anyways, let's go into it. When asked to open the door, so he's literally saying he asked Wayne to open the door, the male's reaction was severely delayed. Once the door was opened, the smell of feces and urine as well as alcohol was overwhelming. Wow, Verono is really theatrical, isn't he? I'll cover the other things because I'll show you how that's a lie too. The male then stumbled out of the vehicle and was extremely unsteady on his feet, resulting in him falling to the ground. While the male was falling, he made no attempt to brace himself. At this point, police formed grounds for impaired operation of a motor vehicle. I then placed my knee on the suspect's lower back to keep him from moving out from underneath me and into traffic. Look where his SUV and my truck is. Okay, he grounded him and put his massive weight on Wayne. How can you roll into traffic? Anyways, I attempted to get the male to his feet. However, the male did not attempt to stand up. What do you guys see here? The male was arrested at 10:01 a.m. I then observed urine and feces seeping out the suspect's pants and on the car seat. Guess what? Like I said, I'm going to take this one, in parts. But I was taping, and I have video pictures of that car seat by accident because you can slow down a video, right? So, they think because they don't wear body cams, they can trick and say anything. And by the way, Verono wrote in the disclosure, it seems he was a bit upset that I was videotaping and I said I would put it on social media. This is what upset Verono. The male was unable to move his feet and assist me in getting him to his feet. You just look, Wayne is like 125 pounds. How big do you think Verono is? Tell me. I also have pictures of the injuries Verono caused. The male was assisted to my police cruiser and struggled to lift his legs into the vehicle. I could smell alcohol on his breath and observe bloodshot eyes. He didn't have bloodshot eyes. Oh, he says Wayne had slurred speech. Now, you can hear, I'll also play a video later, and you can see, it'll be in my second part. You'll see that Wayne did not also have slurred speech. The male was extremely uncooperative and refused to listen to me, while his notice upon arrest, rights to counsel, and caution were read. Okay, let's look at the video. Let's let the video talk for itself. Remember, this is a sergeant. Well, videos talk words. Now, addressing the feces, he said there was feces covered on my driver's seats. Well, I have evidence from how I bought the truck, first of all. Secondly, when you slow down my own video, I can catch evidence that's not true. What happened was, you can see when Wayne was on the floor, he was clean, but from the slamming and the assault, he did soil himself. That's on Ferono. I also want to mention that Wayne did tell me that when he was also at the station, Ferono made up another excuse and said he had to assault him again. Would love to see that, and I am going to tell Wayne's lawyer that the video inside the police station must be pulled up. You know, everything, but they failed. Underwood failed to say that we told her that Wayne was just released. Ferono failed to say that he did see that information, and I can prove that. And like I said, let me show you from the videos, you know, how I can prove what I was saying about the soy in the seats. He also said in front of him I was calling 911. My own phone records will show I was not. He just looked at my freedom of information, go, hey, I can use, she was calling 911. Well, being I'm an expert actually in the field professionally with wireless and cellular phones, he knows that I was videotaping him because he actually did place that in Wayne's disclosure. I guess, you know, it's not an illegal act, you know, to do that. It was actually for my protection after how he was acting. I mean, technically, without being slammed to the ground, Wayne had the right to be told who he was, why he was being pulled over, and I had the right to be told. But obviously, Ferono and all the constables have proven on that day that they really do believe they're above the law. Defamation of character is also, you know, not below them to do. He also said that I was swearing that I was calling. I did call the police station going, what in the world is happening? This is crazy. Wasn't swearing at anybody. In fact, when it says male was heard in an argument, it was him screaming at me because they just took my truck away. I had nowhere to get back. And it was him screaming at me, no, 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 because I say so. I'm not giving you a ride. I did end up walking from the shelter back, you know, to Hayes. I think that's what it's called, Hayes Road, myself again, tired and everything. It's really important. My only thing I regret is I should have just kept on filming until they left. I've learned that lesson. I've also learned what they say is true. Just never talk to police because they will manipulate and they will bastardize the truth of the matter, which is what they did. Now, don't forget, he slammed Wayne to the ground. Look at how his heavy weight is on Wayne, and they placed handcuffs on Wayne on the ground, and then he's like can't help himself into the vehicle. I don't drink. Oh yeah, they're what they say I drink. So even though I don't drink, I've been accused of being an alcoholic by them because they don't need evidence to say you're a drug user or alcoholic. I don't drink at all. And guess what? Don't drink, don't take drugs, don't do weed, don't do any of that. Never has been something, you know, for me. But yeah, so I could why don't I tie handcuffs, get someone heavy, like heavier than Ferono, the way he slammed Wayne to the ground, slap handcuffs on him and see if he's going to be able to get up properly by himself. And I've already shown the injuries he's done to Wayne.
The door gets stuck. What happened? What happened? What happened? Because I wasn't watching.
Out of the car.
I didn't do anything. I wasn't driving, but what happened?
Out of the car.
Okay, I'm going to be taping this if you're going to be, just to say abusive, because I
I'm not
haven't...
being abusive.
Yes,
I've asked
you
you
are.
once, you said no. Let's
No,
go.
because you're being abusive to me. I didn't do anything.
On your feet.
I fell off the freaking car. He's being abusive, so that this is it.
I asked you to
fell
get out
off.
of the car.
And I was. Look, I fell off
Can you
of
wait?
it.
Can you just pull over and stay? Thank you.
I fell off the car. Can you not see? It fell
Okay.
off of it.
Can you get up?
How the fuck can I get over?
Hey, up. Everything's being video and audio recorded in there, okay?
No.
Okay.
Okay, put your leg up there.
Oh, thank you. You're being video recorded, sir. Everyone can see what's happening.
Can you get over here, please?
Yes, I fell out the car and I get screamed at.
Excuse me, please.
July 1971.
You're the owner of the truck?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, it's gonna get towed.
What happened? I don't even know what happened.
You guys are drunk. That's what happened.
I wasn't drunk. I'm not
He's driving
drinking.
drunk.
Okay?
I'm not even drinking.
It doesn't matter. You're the passenger. Okay. Can you just come sit over here? 'Cause we don't want you in traffic,
I have my
okay?
somehow when I fell off with the thing, my shoes fell
That's
off
okay.
somewhere.
Just can you sit here? We don't want you in traffic. okay?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I can't take them off right now. Okay, I cannot take them off right now.
I am, because I don't even know what's going on here.
Okay. Everything's being video and audio recorded.
And you were actually at the police station, and they said you weren't drunk when they let you out.
Just been at the police station.
And they said you weren't drunk, so this is incredible.
I need these taken off and get
I understand, but I cannot take them off right now.
You can loosen them.
Okay, after I read this to you, then we'll talk
Loosen
about
them
that, okay?
now. I request you to loosen them now.
Okay, can you just listen to the few things after
No,
read to you?
no, because it's dangerous. Loosen them now.
Well, the disclosure, like I said, Ferrono made some remarks. He said that I exited not from the passenger side. Now, I wasn't going to exit from the passenger side because with how hostile he was being, and his assumptions, can you believe, can you just imagine what would have happened if I turned my back on him and exited the passenger side? He would have said I was trying to escape, ran around to the passenger side, and probably grounded me like Wayne. Anyways, I am gonna leave it here, ending with, you know what, there are some good cops around, and I really do feel sorry for them having to work with bad cops. But I am gonna end it here with this clip. We all know Rebel News, and we all know David Dempsey and what he's gone through. So I'm ending it here, and I give kudos to the cops at the end of his video as well.
Roughed me up, falsely arrested me.
Ms. Freeland, how come the IRGC is not a terrorist group? Why is your government supporting Islamo-Nazis? What? Excuse me. What are you doing? You're under arrest for assault. Why are you pushing me? You're under arrest for assault.
They're saying that you blew a red light, so
oh really?
We're just investigating that, yeah.
Oh.
So the other day, folks, ace cameraman Lincoln J and I were at, it's quite uncanny, like he has spidey sense or something. Remember last Remembrance Day when Lincoln spotted none other than the infamous Officer Bubbles? He's that guy who will arrest you if you're blowing bubbles at protests. I'm not making this up.
I like bubbles. I do. I think it makes people smile. My name is a mystery. Oh? No, I have nothing to hide.
If the bubble touches me, I'm going to be arrested for assault. Do you understand me?
Bubbles?
Yes, that's right. It's a deliberate act on your behalf. I'm going to arrest you.
Yeah, that's how we got the Bubbles nickname. And you know something? He hates that nickname. And
Bubbles, how you doing there? David Menzies. Just wondering if
Joseph's.
Oh, okay.
Get that out of my face.
Well, don't do that.
Don't do that.
You really have anger issues, don't you?
It's got nothing to do with that. Get that out of my face.
Now speak.
Isn't this amazing, folks? This is the guy who a year ago today roughed me up, falsely arrested me. Cat got his tongue. Why is he so silent? And here he is. Oh, he's called the OPP on us. I don't know if we've broken any laws, but I guess a new adventure awaits. All right. Mr. Dumichel, would you like to talk about that? After right now.
Everything's fine.
Oh, thank you, sir. Okay.
No issues.
All right.
We're going to be following up with them based on what you said.
Okay.
Okay, sound good.
I appreciate that. And the video actually last year, this day, it went viral. It was at a Chrystia Freeland, Justin Trudeau event in Richmond Hill. Okay. The same event's taking place now. We were kind of shocked that officer was not confined to desk duty or even fired because of the way he acted. And please don't take my word for it, officer. No. Watch the video.
So you're saying that he assaulted you at that event last year?
Correct. Okay. Yes. In fact, if you have a card with an email address, I can send you the link.
Okay. Is it on YouTube?
It is indeed. And you know what? I'll give you my card.
I'll take your information.
Okay.
So you filed a complaint against...
Oh, more than that, officer. We have actually a $1 million lawsuit against the Mounties and York Regional Police and Chrystia Freeland for this. So
Anyways, I want to apologize for taking you guys off. I mean, the GTA is in the biggest crime wave of its history, so I feel ashamed taking you officers off the job, right? So
did you have this, was all that information, like the officer's name and such, in the video?
100%. In subsequent videos, we eventually found out who he was.
Okay.
But my cell phone number, my email is there, officer. So if you want to reach out to me, if you need any video evidence, I'm happy to provide it.
Okay.
Okay, then. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.